We've traveled to the north end of the Vanderbilt property, the Vanderbilt estate, and we've arrived at a location called Barred Rock. And Barred Rock is just what it sounds like. It's a rock perched at the edge of the Hudson River, and it has a story to tell, and the kind of story that maybe only a geologist would come here and recognize. We've been tracing evidences of the Ice Age on our journey today, and all along we look to the north, and in our mind's eye we imagine a glacier traveling to the south, moving through the Hudson Valley and off towards, eventually, the New York City vicinity. It's so easy to imagine that. It's so easy to look north and imagine a glacier coming in this direction. But here at Barred Rock, we don't have to rely just on the human imagination. The evidence of the Ice Age, the scientific evidence of the Ice Age, is right here. This surface, I think you can see, has a nice, smooth, inclined plane to it. It looks almost polished off. It's not as rugged as a bedrock exposure should be, and there's a reason for that. This surface had a glacier passing across it, and that glacier smoothed it out and created the slope that we see here. Actually planed right through the bedrock in this location. The evidence? Well, we start off by imagining what it was like when a glacier passed over here. At the bottom of the ice, and I'm sitting where the ice once was, the glacier was very dirty. There was sand, there was gravel, there were even cobbles and boulders being transported by the ice. And the sand pushed across this surface, worked on the surface just exactly the way sandpaper would. The glacier pressed down on the sand, dragged across the surface, and sanded it down. That's why my hands are spread across a nice, smooth surface. But when we look a little bit more carefully at the rock, we see there's more to it than just that. This surface has scratches running across it. Some of them are fairly sizable. And the scratches are called glacial striations. They occurred when cobbles carried by the glacier were dragged across this surface, pressed into the rock, and created these scratches, these glacial striations in the surface. They're a very common Ice Age phenomenon. We geologists are accustomed to seeing them all across the Northeast, wherever there is bedrock. And they speak vividly of the advance of the ice. There's no surprise to their orientation. That's the north, that's the south. The glacier dragged these cobbles north to south across this surface, creating these glacial striations. We add it all up, and we have a wonderful example of the typical evidence that was placed here by the glaciers of the Ice Age.